Many studies shows that women are less confident than men when it comes to make a decision in their financial future.
If you look at the capacity, not only the capacity, but also at the statistics of women, 53% of the workforce consists of women. 56% of more developed jobs are held by women. 58% of those who go to study on a HBO level are women.
How is Total Services supporting entrepreneurs who are just starting?
Young entrepreneurs also are the new starting businesses. It's important for them to know the development of a business plan, cash management, the tax issues. Many small businesses have failed because of not having the tax issues in place.
If I qualify for a mortgage, I'm not sure if I go and commit for 30 years, 20 years to pay a mortgage every month or to keep on renting. What do you recommend? Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of the Part of Bold Living. I'm your host, Jenniffer Figaroa, and today we are recording from the beautiful Bathhouse AQ3 showroom. Thank you, location partners, for this opportunity. I am so excited for today's guest. He is the Managing Director of Total Services, a trusted name in the financial industry, and someone with wealth of experience in turning dreams into reality. Please welcome Mr. Ronald Van Trigt. Ronald.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm very glad to have been invited here today, and I hope I can contribute to the podcast in a positive way.
Yes, that's for sure. So, Ronald, I know you for a couple of years already.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And can you tell me a little bit about you and about the growth of your company? That the company that is now today.
Yeah. We started off. We started off 35 years ago. I must say, we came up with an idea to start a service company in Aruba. In that time, my partner and myself, started in the weekends with doing maintenance and it was cleaning maintenance. So we started mostly in carpets and doing pressure cleaning services. That company grew out to be, and we were both professionals at that time. I was working for myself already in an accounting firm with my father, but my partner was also working in an accounting firm. And we decided then to start this business. The business had of course, we were starting with a plan and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. But we found a niche in the market at that time. And we started servicing especially clients who had a relationship that we were able to maintain through all these 35 years. So when we started to do carpets, pressure washing, cleaning in mostly financial institutions, insurance companies. We entered into the airport. The company grew very fast. It was a company that grew exponentially fast. So I think after 10 or 12 years, we were a company that already had starting in my mother's, my house of my parents. We started our first office, and it grew into a company that at a certain moment had more than 1,000 employees, servicing most of the industries in Aruba, including the airport. The company moved to Curaçao and St. Martin. We worked in the Dominican Republic. So it was always a company that was focused on growth. And from that company also, of course, you have a development in business. And after a couple of years, I decided to get again with partners into the finance business, a business that I knew from when I was young and started to help in that business. In 2001, we bought that business, and we have developed it in total finance. and I am now dedicated solely to Total Finance and with a vision of moving it forward into a full-fledged financial institution.
Wow, that's an amazing story. You know, it feels so good to hear that you're Arubian, you know, and you made it so far. It's amazing. It's really amazing and inspiring also. Um, so you are in the helping people turn in their dreams into reality at this moment. How is it that how accessible is it for a local to buy a home in Aruba?
Yeah, well, Aruba has gone through a transition period. Aruba has had explosive growth, especially in the tourism sector. This brought with it, of course, that we are an island nation with a limited area, but Aruba is very much in demand, also from foreign investment. The foreign investment part, of course, caused that the pricing of property increased. It became a disbalance, I must say, a couple of years ago between what the average income is and the price of housing. This disbalance is caused, of course, by foreign investment and business development in the tourism industry, related industries like Airbnb, which are very heavily developed, and mostly a lot of it come from foreign investments. So there is some tension in the market, and there is a disbalance at this moment between housing, the price of housing, and locals getting accessibility to housing. Of course, we need to work on this because this disbalance creates stress. It's a little bit difficult for someone at this moment who is a local who did not inherit a piece of land from their parents to purchase. The pricing of land is in most areas in Aruba reaching 500 guilders a square meters. Some areas are even 700 guilders a square meters for property land, I'm talking at this moment. But even the demand for developed areas with leased land are very expensive. So this has brought some difficulties for locals, especially young professionals, people who are starting up to acquire a home in Aruba.
Yes, indeed. I mean, we have a dollar-based economy. And inflation, if there is inflation in the U.S., you will feel it here right away.
Yes.
And indeed, what you mentioned about property land, I mean, people are not getting the long lease land anymore, or it's taking just too long for that. So what it makes it then that a property land at this moment is very expensive. It's
Yes.
about 600 florins, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
per square meters.
Yes.
So it's like a chain.
Yes.
Like a chain, you know?
Yes.
Like it's that everything is just come together.
Interconnected, yes.
It's connected, yes. And now that Total Finance is will be granting mortgage loans, what do you foresee that it will become maybe an obstacle for the local to apply for a mortgage, to get a mortgage approved?
Well, of course, you have to start thinking about the process and think also outside of the box. Total, of course, is in the process. We are not there yet. We have many things that we need to take care of before we get to the point where we want to become. It's an arduous process. Building a bank is not an easy task. But the vision is that, of course, you have to, not only Total, but I think all financial institutions and together with the government, we have to start thinking about how, together with the private sector, we can develop and make it attractive to develop housing. And this might include private investments that for long term that can participate in such funds for affordable housing to take place. And the process of having property land leased is one of the options that people are looking at. So I think that as a country, or as all the players involved, all the stakeholders, I think that we should get together and make a national plan on how we're going to develop property for locals to be able to participate in this process more intensely than they can do at this moment.
Yeah, definitely. That was actually my next question. As you already mentioned, we have limited options when it comes to creative banking solutions. And here, there are no like programs designed to help those kind of people to, to get their home. But what about Fondo di Garantia?
Yeah, well, Fondo di Garantia gives, of course, guarantees a part of the investment so that a new home buyer doesn't need to put up the 100% initially of deposits or anything that they need, and guarantees to the financial institution 20% or so of the investment. But I think we should go further than that. We have to start with the price of the land itself. So this is where we need to have the first solution. Have government incentivize businesses to invest in these properties.
Yes.
Have the financial sector invest in these long-term investments, but also have a combination of tax and other incentives because I do believe, of course, that the private sector will always have a solution for the challenges that we face, but they must be incentivized in the right way. And that goes back all the way in tax breaks for new home buyers, giving them the space for them to pay, especially the first years of their mortgage. So these are ideas that we have to talk about and discuss in partnership with all the partners that determine these issues for Aruba.
Yes. So as a financial advisor yourself as well, if I qualify for a mortgage and but I'm not sure if I go and commit for 30 years, 20 years to pay a mortgage every month or to keep on renting, what do you recommend?
Well,
What key factor do I have to take into consideration so I can make my decision?
Well, of course, we have in order to buy a home, you have to be able to maintain the home besides paying your mortgage. So buying a home comes with a lot of other responsibilities. Personally, you can see it in Aruba that there are many homeowners who cannot maintain their property. So you see a lot of properties in Aruba that are not well maintained. And this is a consequence of the fact that it costs money. So there is, of course, everybody wants to have a home. But for you to have a home, you have to have a certain income. So, and that income in Aruba is, in my opinion, rather high. So we have to realize that. So we have to have alternatives for the lower income sector of our island to be able to rent. And that has to be developed also. I think that we have to think outside the box about that also. Having associations that develop, especially for this segment of the market, renting possibilities at a fair price. Because as land price increases, the rent price increases also.
Yes.
The whole dynamic of the way that people live in Aruba compared to 10 years ago or 15 years ago has changed completely. If you look at the mix of a household today, I think the average household, a lot of large parts of the households, I have a feeling that many people live with their parents or with their grandparents. So you have our combined families with more than one person owning or inhabiting the home. So we have changed because of this stress that we talked about earlier. We have changed. So it is important for us to address these issues, make it more accessible, but we have to have then conversations, in-depth conversations on what are the right incentives to give for the market to develop. At this moment, even renting is challenging. Renting prices have also gone up. Apartments have gone up. We have a large population of of undocumented workers on the island. They all live somewhere, so they rent, and they do not live on the street. So there is a lot of property that is being shared, and we are in the process. I hear that the government is going to legalize a part of this population. So these issues should be addressed pretty quickly. They are going to, if they have a permit, they are going to look for better housing opportunities also. So we should prepare and develop this market as soon as possible.
Yeah, I truly believe in teamwork.
Yes.
And I believe that if all the stakeholders come together and think of solutions, I think we'll be in the right path.
I think
for
so
sure.
too. I think.
Just have to be open and see what works and what doesn't work.
Yes.
Not just copy paste and let's say it works in the Netherlands, let's put it in
Yes.
Aruba. It's not like that. And sometimes it goes like that.
Yes.
But I think and I believe in if we all sit together and we brainstorm of ideas, I'm 100% sure that we are in the right path.
I am sure. I think that Aruba has a vibrant economy with vibrant investors and a lot of capacity in real estate, but also in business development and investors. So I think that we should be able to get together and brainstorm on these issues and solve them. But they are important to be solved.
For sure. All right. So tell me a little bit. Let's talk about small businesses. What is how is Total Services, Total Finance supporting entrepreneurs who are just starting?
Well, of course, that is a very good question because entrepreneurs who start, they should start. The game is changing. Okay, the game becomes more difficult. I'm thinking back of 35 or 36 years when we started the business. We went from A to B rather quickly. The economy was different. The competition was different. It has changed. So everything has changed. And I think that for entrepreneurs, especially young entrepreneurs or starting entrepreneurs, small business, the development of the business, the one that's going to start the business, needs to be complete. So the understanding of what they need to know before starting the business is more in depth in order for the financing to take place. One of the challenges of a starting business is that they don't have a track record in credit. So if you're 20 years in business and you're doing well, finding credit is not a challenge. But if you have no track records in business, it's just the person's face and the confidence that you need to give to the project. So for the young entrepreneurs also, or the new starting businesses, it's important for them to know the development of a business plan, cash management, the tax issues, which has many small businesses have failed because of not having their tax issues in place. Mm-hmm. So these issues should all be taken into consideration, and they are going to be taken into consideration also when you come to any financial institution. I have seen, though, very positive news lately of association or a cooperation that the Minister of Finance started with.
The borgstelling?
With
MKB.
Mm-hmm. So that a part of this new business is being financed they take a part of the risk, I suppose, of this startup business. I think those are very, very important initiatives because, of course, a financial institution is always going to be associated to risk. How much am I willing to risk?
Yes.
That means that mostly the risk is also interpreted in the price of financing. So in order for a starting business, I think these are the initiatives we need, that MKBs participate in this. Funds are being set aside to give small businesses and startups a chance. And I'm very positive that is going to be an extreme.
So your advice for small businesses is make sure that, one, you have your business plan ready. Make sure that you do your research on the market. You know, your idea can be nice and beautiful, but then if you don't do a market research and see, okay, what's working, what's not, it's like definitely something that will fail. So educate yourself in cash management. Go to the tax office and make sure that you know everything about taxes, and have the right attitude and spirit and patience to make it work.
Well, that is what I think that is the main driver of it. I mean, it's the starting a business. I think any business is hard work.
Tell me about it.
It's challenging. It's you don't get better every day. Sometimes you need to take 2 steps back in order to come 3 steps forward. It's discipline. It's so also about your own cash management is extremely important. So I think it's also the attitude of the person. What do you want to do? How committed are you? How many sacrifices are you willing to take? And I think that those are the most important ingredients of starting a new business. Regretfully, those ingredients, you cannot measure them when somebody walks into a room or when somebody sits down in front of you. So these associated things that I talked about, knowledgeable on what they are going to do, knowledgeable on management, knowledgeable on tax issues, business plan, cash management are important issues when you come and sit down at a financial institution. And then, of course, building your credit record. It's extremely important. Comply with the financial institution's requirements. And if you can't, you have to walk into the door and refinance or talk about it. So that is, I think, very important for starting businesses.
Definitely. So many studies shows that women are less confident than men when it comes to make a decision in their financial future, financial stability. What can you say about that?
Well, when we talk about Aruba, Aruba, I think, has special ingredients and has a special situation. If you look at the capacity, not only the capacity but also at the statistics of women. So women have 53% of the workforce consists of women. 56% of the more developed jobs are held by women. And then the last statistic is that 58% of those who go to study on a HBO level are women. And finish.
So we are in the right path. In the right path.
Absolutely in the right path. Not only are we in the right path, but I think that if we look at Aruba, I think it's important to note also that we have in all sectors of our island women who are very important in that particular sector, especially healthcare and education. Women are leading those segments of our economy. But we also have, I think, I call them champions, women who have excelled, and Aruba has a great amount of women who have excelled. So we have had a prime minister who's a woman, Evelyn Weber Cruz. Women like Ella Trompier-Sagaray, who was the first woman minister in Aruba. Teresa Cruz Fernandez Pedro, who was a judge, who was a woman in Aruba. So we have a lot. Jurima Bryson will be the first ombudsman or ombudsvrouw, I don't know how you call it. We've talked about the president of the central bank before we started, Jeannette Simulaire, 2008, one of the longest sitting presidents on the island. People like Nicole Huberts in sports, who have vice president of the IUC. So we have a lot of women who we can look up to. And I think that considering the statistics that we talk about, the amount of women who hold important positions within our country, especially in the financial sector, banks, directors, etc. I think it's we're doing very well. The statistics about how many women are own their own business, the statistics I could not get to immediately, but I believe that in certain sectors we are very well developed.
And as a businessman, what would be your advice towards a woman that still lack confidence in what she can build in terms of her financial future?
Yeah,
What
well,
advice can you give?
there are certain statistics that in Aruba we need to have more information about. One of them is, of course, the fact that that women sometimes, and you see it not only in Aruba, you see it in the Netherlands, where the responsibilities that women carry in a household is sometimes disproportionate. So women have children, many women have children and raise these children alone. So there are certain factors that influence the time factor that women can dedicate to a full-fledged career. Even so, I've talked about the penetration of women in the most important sectors in Aruba, but still, it's one of those challenges that we have, for being equal, for being exploiting the maximum potential of women within a business environment, and that is the situation at home, the responsibilities at home. So those statistics I'm not completely aware of, statistics that should be gathered in Aruba also. Statistics about the wage gap are important studies that should be developed in Aruba so that we know that equal pay for equal work is well maintained. I have a feeling that it is, but it's a feeling. We need to make studies of it. But I think that women advice is, so women have to do the maximum that they can to develop themselves. Also in business, I think that women have great capacity, equally to men, or maybe in sometimes better than men, to run certain businesses. There are businesses that are only women running them, but we have great examples of businesses that run with only women. One of them is Crepes and Waffles in Colombia, started as a outlet for households that are led by women, and the company has become one of the most successful companies in Colombia. But those types of examples are things that we should grab at. And if we also women that have to work together is very important, so that women work together and build each other up and sustain each other in their development as a woman.
Definitely. From my perspective as a woman, I think three hesitations to go and build your future. And one is we overthink too much. We definitely think too much before we act. The second is we want to know everything before we act. Like, if I don't know this,
Don't do it.
and the fear of making a mistake. That's something also that comes up a lot into a woman. But I've learned from years of working and being an entrepreneur myself is that you will build yourself, you will build confidence by doing and not by stand on the side and wait things to happen. You have to take control of what you want in order to see the results. So that's something that I've learned, and it's working.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that it's natural to women to be sometimes the decisions that they take are related. I again go to their family situation.
Yes.
The motherhood often, having children, caring for them and protecting them. So this they carry into the workplace when they have to take risks. But I think that if you have a chance to do it, we must do it. Business is not a clear path. It is something that has risks involved. I see business as a door that you need to open, and behind that door there are 7 other doors. So it's a continual decision-making process. What door are you going to open next? But whenever you enter, you will see that there are many other opportunities that arise. So you start here, but then you say, should I move to the right? Should I open another business? Should I expand myself to beyond our borders? So all these things, in my personal opinions, we have done. And I must say we haven't always done it well. We have also failed. But it's part of the process
Yeah, I mean,
of building yourself, educating yourself, know what works, know what doesn't work.
yes.
So we are always excited when we open a door, but not all door leads to success. So, and that's a part of doing business, and it's a part of the decision making that we need to make. It's constant decision making. I think it's even more. We're living in a more competitive society. Technology is moving fast. AI is developing. That will make the way that we work in the very near future completely different. But also in that sense, women and all entrepreneurs, all business people should be on board to see how that process goes and how it's going to affect their way of working in the very near future.
Yes, I mean, I think educating yourself, we never stop educating ourselves. So you have to be open to learn and learn and learn so you can, so you can go with the AI now
Yes.
that we are, and
Yes.
that will be my next question, is indeed, Ronald, the world is changing and rapidly, like very
Yes.
fast.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, it's so fast that I'm getting older by the second because it's just crazy.
Yeah.
And what do you say about, because right now banking is evolving every day. And with this AI and the apps, and how do you see people interacting now with banks?
Yeah, well, I foresee in the very near future that the new way of doing it will be all digital. So people will, in all sectors, and it's not only in banking, but in all sectors, digital presence of a company is the way that persons will choose for the way to go. That means having all services that are possible, do it via your phone or via your computer. We are not only competing. I think that the financial sector in Aruba has a very strong development process that is going on. The central bank is working at a payment system that will make payment instant in Aruba between financial institutions or between persons. So I think these new divisions are important. I'm sure that the central bank is working on proposing legislation regarding crypto development, which is something that we cannot, we will not be able to
We're not
hold.
ready.
But it is coming. So we need to change, and I think that all sectors within our in Aruba, even though we're an island, we're an island dependent on tourists who make use of paying platforms and the way they pay their bills and the way they do things, overseas payments, how they transact money. This is a development that is very, very strong, happening now as we speak, especially with the changes of the laws that are coming, and cryptocurrency has been pushed forward with the development of stablecoin in the U.S. So it will affect the way people are expected to be treated. So it's Aruba as a economy that is mostly dependent on tourism needs to be able to have this capacity that also visitors are expected to have. So it is not only for our only local people, but also for our visitors, important for us to develop into an IT or AI first type of thinking. And I am sure also that we are going to do that. I think that the central bank knows this, and they are developing programs, they are developing better payment systems. Banks are developing within themselves platforms of visions to develop their own platforms of payment. And so I think that we are going to have to, the next couple of years are going to be very exciting and interesting because they are going to be we are going to see changes that we have never seen before taking place around us.
No, well, definitely, I'm very excited about that part. I mean, again, we are in a technology age, and if you don't read about it, if you don't educate yourself about it, if you don't know how to use it, because AI is a tool. If you use it correctly, it will make your life easier. If not, then you will stay behind.
Yes.
So that was actually my next question, and you already mentioned it. The future of banking of Aruba. How do you think it will look like in 5 to 10 years?
Well, I think completely different. I think we will have, as I said, new ways of payment. We will be doing most of the things from the comfort of our homes. We will be able to transfer money beyond our borders in a much more efficient and easy way. Settling of accounts will be instantly. We will be able to have provide to the client who will, at a certain moment, demand this, the freedom to decide at any moment, at any time, the service that he expects. So it's going to be driven by technology. It's going to be driven by AI and blockchain technology that is being developed at this moment, and that is unstoppable.
And scary.
And a little bit scary. It's
Scary.
one of the doors that we need to open. And
Yes.
so it's one of the doors that we need to open. But we cannot permit ourselves not to look inside this door, because it's a door that is everywhere. It's inevitable. It will change the way that we work. It will change the way that we pay. It will change the way that we demand things. I went to a recent in Miami. So we went to a conference that was specifically looking at the future of AI in banking. But if you see business development, so businesses are going to develop, and all businesses are going to develop in a certain way. But the client is going to expect certain things. So if you look at the industry of tourism, one of the expectations is that in a couple of years, through AI, so much information will be gathered about the person that is going to check into the hotel, that a front desk will not be necessary anymore. So the person will walk into the hotel, and they will be able to cater much better to this person. So if you drink champagne or drink this or drink that, they will be able to cater specifically to this person because they have captured so much information about them. And so many of these jobs that we have now are going to be in the back of the house. So we need to have a computer analyst or people who do other stuff. So it's also going to impact the way of working, and it's going to impact the way of working not only in the way we work now, but also in banking, in the financial industry. It's going to change a lot of things. AI is going to be able to do monitoring, compliance, all these tasks will be done much better if they are done through an AI-driven technology. So we have a lot of changes that are going to take place, but these changes are not, Aruba must participate, because the persons that are going to continue to visit us are going to be, they expect to be treated at a certain way, and we have to be able to cater to them continuously.
Definitely. Just to we are almost on, we are on time, but I think we have a couple of more minutes. I was in China a couple of months ago, and I was astonished.
Yes.
Everything is technology.
Yes.
They are so ahead of the world. It's crazy.
Yes.
It is crazy. I mean, you go there and you pay with your hands. I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't because, but the way they are, it's incredible. And for me, it was amazing to see that, to go there and see it with my eyes. Okay, these people are ahead of times. They are like the aliens.
Yes.
You know? So, so yeah, I mean, Aruba, I don't know if we'll get there, but we, as you mentioned, the people that will come to Aruba will expect that. So we are like, we have to. There is no way around it.
It's a forced change.
Yeah.
So we need to change, and we need to also, every business needs to look at the impact that this is going to have on their business in the years ahead. Governments needs to get on board with when it comes to these developments that are taking place. There is not one segment that can stay behind on this issue. So it's like I said, it's a door that we will have to open. China is, of course, the leader in this.
That's the name, actually, the leader.
China is, of course, the government of China also pushes this as to the front of their agenda. They have the capacity to do that because they are a centrally governed society. But the government has such an important role to it, and they have set it as a vision. So they invest heavily into the development of it. In the States, sometimes development is a little bit slower because you give companies the chance to develop everything that they have invented. So in China, they have broken these rules. They develop and they just go further and faster.
I was astonished, and I love the place so much.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and I've learned so much just to be there 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because of all what they have. It's amazing. It's an
incredible.
amazing place, place. So, Ronald, thank you so much for your time, for joining us. Definitely, I'm sure that our listeners will be full with valuable insight. And thank you. Thank you for your time. I know you're very busy, and so we are very thankful about it. And our listeners, I hope you enjoy this podcast. And as your host, I'm here to remind you to live boldly. Don't be afraid to take action. Just do it. See you next time.